2. Hey, everybody, grab your cup of coffee. It's time for Living with Favor, where we talk about faith, abundance, vitality, overflow, and relationships. I'm Lisa Mosbey, the host of Living with Favor. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today's special guest, we just had an amazing chat before we started. So that's why my cheeks are hurting and I'm smiling so big. My special guest today is Mary Harris. Mary is, she's sharing with us how she is tuning into Favor and sharing her path to empowerment. Mary Harris is an award-winning singer, songwriter, and actress on stage and screen. She's an inspirational speaker, and she's a lover of life with a powerful commitment to provide entertainment, fun, empowerment, expansion, and love through the arts. So welcome, Mary. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
I feel so welcome. Thank you. Right at home. I'm right at home.
I love that. Your life has been a tapestry of roles: singer, songwriter, inspirational speaker. I don't know. Can I use the word activist in a sense? I mean, some of the stuff that you do might fall
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Just so many things. Your work spans different mediums like music and writing and speaking and different people and culture. Like, how do you see all these things relating and complementing each other?
The thread that runs, that's a great question. Thank you. The thread that runs through it all, there's a couple threads. One is, I'm glad you used the word tapestry. One thread is love, and another thread is communication.
Yeah.
Everything I do is about that, and alignment. Alignment is how to be able to, I think, to be able to live a life and have multiple streams of income, multiple interests. Because I think we're still kind of socialized to think you should do one thing, maybe two at the most, for 30, 40, 50 years and retire, and maybe you'll get a gold watch, maybe you won't. But yeah, I think it's amazing that we can do multiple things because we're really blessed.
Yeah. We are all those things. Before the show, we were talking about being mothers and aunts and, daughters and granddaughters, and we
Yeah.
fit into all of these places, all of these spaces. And so why do we have rules about that? Or, we have, I call them walls. Sometimes it just feels like you're walled in and you're stuck. And what we want to talk about with Living with Favor is like, how do we get unstuck? How do we create financial freedom for ourselves? How do we, experience joy in our authentic self? Because when we're in joy, that's our authentic self. I mean, it's a biblical principle. God wants us to experience joy. Everything is for our joy, no matter what it is. Even if it's hard, it's meant for our joy so that we can learn from it and grow from it and be better people. As a singer and songwriter, your music is a reflection of your personal experiences and beliefs. Like, I listened to the your two favorite songs that you shared with me. I listened to them before we popped on here.
Awesome.
Can you share like the kind of the story behind those most meaningful songs for you?
Okay, great. One
Yeah.
of them is entitled "You Should Be Just Who You Are,"
Yeah.
which I love to do that. I teach the chorus to people. Yeah. You should be just who you are.
Yeah.
And people love singing that. Matter of fact, I walked into a nightclub one night and this woman was there. She said, she and her sister ran over to me. And they went, yeah. You should be just who you are. Because they sing that song. So that's awesome.
I love it.
We get a lot of messages every day, all day, about who we should be and how we should be. How we should be to be cool, to be accepted, to be this, to be that. And it hit me one day, we should be just who we are. And I don't even use the word should that much, but I will use it in that respect that you should be just who you are. And I coach, a life coach with people, and I coached one guy and he was concerned because he's arrogant. You don't want to appear arrogant. I said, well, are you arrogant? He said, yeah. I said, well, go on, be arrogant. Just don't hurt nobody. Right? But it's harder to not be something than to be it. And then if you need to refine it, if you need to tweak it, great. But allow yourself to be what you are and see what that provides in the world or what it takes away from the world and shape it. So I love that song. And I actually had gone in the recording studio with a friend of mine. He's a world renowned, amazing entertainer, amazing singer. And the words, I took a piece of graphic and I wrote down the lyrics to that song. and put them away. And it was almost a year to the day that the music came to me. I just think that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. And he's one of my dearest friends. Just one of my, yeah, so that's great. And then the second song, my signature song is called Where I Am Today.
Mhm.
And I believe one of the reasons I was born, created, one of the reasons I'm on the earth is to remind people how very, 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 very special they are. And I left out about 100 million varies because we're special. And one thing I enjoy about performing is I get to be with people, I interact with people. If you hire me to sing, I'm gonna talk a little bit. If you hire me to talk, I'm gonna sing. So
Yeah, it's who you
I don't
are.
exactly. I don't just pop it up, but if I would have it arranged like that. And I get to be myself with people, and I provide a space for other people to be themselves. So people walk away from a Mary Harris performance, or just meet me in the grocery store, or meet me public gas. People walk away knowing that I'm wonderful, that I, Mary Harris, am wonderful. They also know that they are wonderful,
Yeah.
and I love that. I love being able to provide that in the world.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what that song is about. And there is something very special about where we are today. And a flat tire, great. If I run out of gas, great. Flat tire, whenever something happens to me in my automobile, within 5 minutes somebody shows up,
Yeah.
either to change my tire or go get me some gas or whatever. So another way, I just want to say another way about how I live is that it's all gonna work out. It's worked out. It's already worked out. If I if I believe that, that gives me a whole lot of space just to be right in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's living with favor, isn't it? It's the belief in first faith. Like the reason I chose that acronym is we're talking about faith first, and you believe it's all going to work out. You know it's all going to work out. And then being able to show up in that heart space with people where you just overflow into them, you pour into them, you're connecting with them in relationships. You as you're in the role of keynote speaker, you're put into a position where you get to influence and inspire so many people. I think, that everything that you just shared there to me was a message of hope. And I know that that's what you impart in the speeches when you're standing in front of people. Um, Tell us a little bit about Tuesdays, Good News Tuesdays, because I want to invite our audience to experience that with you. That's a gift that we can give them if we can connect them into that. They don't have to show up in a speech. They don't even have to find you in Minnesota and come to a concert of yours. They can access through virtual. They can stay connected to you. So, um, you know, yeah, I want you to share your inspiration, your message. Where can people get a hold of that?
Well, on Facebook. And I know a lot of people are, IG or there's other places to be. And if you want to come on Facebook, you can find me. It's Mary Harris. Mary spelled Mari, Mary Harris. And every Tuesday I post, it's Tuesday Good News Day. And I invite people. You got something to share? I said, got something to share? You can do it right here if you want to. Step right on up. My mic is on. I'm gonna turn the volume up, up, up. Let's say something like that. And generally there's a poem. I write a poem now, which is fun because that's 52 poems I'm writing a year. So I post every Tuesday, and I used to post more so in the morning or maybe the afternoon, but now sometimes it's 10 minutes to midnight or what in my time. I'm in Central Time, but I'm gonna post and people see it whenever people see it. It's fine. They might not see it till Saturday, might not come into the feed, but they can post then. But it's extraordinary and just man, heartwarming the things people post. The things people post about loving their grandkids, or oh, I passed a test, or this or that, or just it's I never know what people are gonna say. And it's just this space for people to say what they need to say or want to say. And I hit like, I don't respond. I don't promise you people I'll respond. I tell them I'm listening. I'm starting to feel like Fraser Crane because he says I'm listening, right? But
Yeah.
I uh, don't always respond. And it's not about judgment. Because one young lady I know, one day she posted, men suck. And I hit the like button and kept going. And I love that the space that I am, people, how do I want to say it? People respond and like nobody said anything to her. She didn't need anybody asking her questions.
Yeah.
She didn't need to have to go into why she said that. She said that. That's her opinion. That was her good news. Cool. And I love that. I love that nobody messed with her. Nobody felt like, I could bless her, or I could, at least not on the page. They might have sent her a private message. I don't know.
Yeah.
But nobody made a big deal of it, which teachable moment here. I realized in life, if I don't make something a big deal, it's not a big, if I don't, oh, oh, if I don't make a mess out of something, it's not a mess. People, we seem to be socialized to apologize all the time, which I get. And I think we're taught that it's a good way to be, a good person. But a lot of times somebody will apologize to me because they missed my call or this or that. And I tell them, honey, you don't have to apologize. I don't make a big deal of it. And I realize if I do something, I'm not talking about knock somebody in the head or side swipe somebody's car, but there's things I do that if I don't make a big deal out of it, it's not a big deal. And it just takes the drama out. It's almost like we talked about, things are done. You have to trust that the world's unfolding as it should. And when I trust that and don't make a big deal out of things, there's a space. Oh, there's a space. I never saw. There's a space for it to be. And so I make a big deal out of something that tends to close it down. And we were talking about boxes earlier. It tends to mess things up. If I had said to that young lady, "Oh, baby, the man might have meant not whatever the man did to you. He might not," that's closes stuff off. But her being able to say men suck and all of us going on about our business made a big difference. I like that.
Yeah. When we live in divine time, all things are happening the way they are perfectly in divine time. When people show up late, it's a moment for me to be in prayer. It's a moment for me to look at my phone and check my messages. It's a moment for me to send somebody a note to uplift them. So I used to get really upset about being late, like people who are tardy and they're stealing my time and blah. And it was like, whoa, girl. Everything is happening for your joy. What's the joy in them not being here? I get to have a pause in my day. The car in front of me is driving too slow. Whoa, you're moving too fast. God's
Hello.
like feeling you in, girl. You need to
That's a
just
big
pull
one.
it back. Yeah.
That's a
So it's
big
all
one.
like, how do you look at it? When we change the way that we look at things, the things that we look at change. They become for our good, right?
I
That's what I'm
believe
hearing
that.
you say.
I believe it. I do.
Yeah, I did say to you that you remind me of Maya Angelou. And I did get to be her bodyguard for a day. We had brought her into a big event. And she was a speaker at one of our events, and she was in a wheelchair at that point. She was very frail. And so when you told me that not only are you a singer-songwriter, I didn't know about the poetry piece until today when you were sharing that your Tuesdays good news days. And it's just more and more things. And her autobiography was called Why the Cage Bird Sings. And here you are, a singer and a songwriter. It's just like, oh, I don't know if you knew her or knew of her or if your paths followed each other, but wow, your paths were like parallel paths, the singing and the writing and the speaking and the message that you're putting out there. I just am I keep making those correlations. And she's touched millions of people, millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
And I know you're in a place in your life right now where you're wanting to share your wisdom, your
Yeah.
memories, your story. Maybe, touch many, but it'd be okay if you touch millions of people. And I'm just
Yeah.
curious. Here's the question.
What's the
What
question?
is it that draws you into sharing that wisdom and those personal experiences? Because that's not easy for folks to do. And many of our viewers hold
Mm.
those close to their vest and don't share those stories that people can learn from. So, teaching moment from a wise woman as you are, what helps you? What draws you into that sharing?
Mm. It could be a bird singing. Like it depends on where I am. But like
Yeah.
I might be outside, I might be at a park, and a bird will sing, and I'll say something. Somebody will say something. So it happens in conversation. I like that. It happens. Yeah, it happens in conversation, and it happens in me having the freedom to be who I am,
Mhm.
and for me to have lived long enough to know everybody deserves that freedom. I've been trained, and I believe the soul is a happy entity. So, and people have the right to say what there's to say. So, I, from a young age, people have liked to talk to me. For me being a young age, I remember sitting on a bus stop in my teen years, and people people just sit out, start talking to me, or in a grocery store line. And what's interesting, people will talk to me and they'll tell me, they'll talk and talk, and then they'll say, I've never told anybody that. And then they look at me like I didn't do nothing. I've been minding my own business. That's another thing that works. That's a powerful thing, minding my own business. Like minding my own business. Like doing what I love to do. That's another thing that runs through all of this stuff. I love to sing. Do I love to sing? I've actually heard myself say I don't love to sing. I love expression. So it happens through singing. It might happen to sit. I love sitting with somebody that I can be quiet with. I have no problem just sitting and looking out the window. Just sitting in the park, just sitting. And I think I had a thought. I think I had a point I was going to make. I don't remember what it was, but it's related to, doing what you love to do. There's power in that, because I do love to sit. Oh, and I go to a party and mind my own business. That's what this is all tied up into. Mind my own business, doing what you love to do. I'll go to a party and sit down on the couch. I give me some food and sit down. And I have a friend that says, Mary, you always holding court. I'm not trying to hold court. I just like to sit down. Or I like to eat. Sometimes I'll be the first one to, if nobody's moving and somebody says you can eat now, I go and get in the line, get something to eat and go sit down. And sometimes I sit by myself or I might join somebody else, but people tend to gravitate over and want to sit down and eat. And because I think it's because I smile a lot. And because I do enjoy food and I enjoy life. That's why I'm glad I put in my writings, I'm a lover of life. I appreciate being alive. Talk about favor, I feel so incredibly blessed. And I've had people ask me, why are you so happy? And I thought about this a couple of months ago. Part of it is because I have experienced an extraordinary amount of love. I have loved and been loved for years. I'm 70 years old. I grew up in a church home. I grew up in a town, Moline, Illinois, in the Quad Cities. I've been around a lot of love. And love to me never dies. So, because I've been thinking lately, honey, I know a lot of people that have died, and I still can feel their love, their wisdom, their energy. And I'm actually I don't mind saying this out loud, starting to kind of engage in it. It's like, oh yeah, you ain't gone. I don't know where you at, but you're not here physically anymore. But I still get to have your love.
Yeah.
And I still get to have
Once
the
in our heart, always
benefit.
in our heart. Yeah.
Right. And the benefit of having been loved. It would take a lot to make me sad. I mean, yes, I'm sad when someone transitions or somebody dies, call it whatever term you will. There's sadness for a minute, but there's a lot of joy because, honey, we had some love, and we danced and we did, whether we danced physically, I love to shake my butt, or whether we danced in a conversation, or whether we danced. I won't say in the kitchen cooking because I don't be in the kitchen cooking. I might watch you cook, but I'm not cooking. But wherever the dance happened, I get to still have that. And it still gets to empower. I'm still get to be empowered by it. And I still get to have my heart and my body and my soul warmed by it. So that's one reason I'm happy.
Love that fiber, that tapestry. You talked about that, the thread through the tapestry. We're coming full circle back around to it.
Always, always, yeah.
Yeah. My mom and dad used to dance in the kitchen. I used to dance in the kitchen when I was married. Yeah, so it's funny you said not in the kitchen. Even my nephew and the nieces and nephews they dance with me in the kitchen. I always have music on when I'm cooking in the kitchen. That's my favorite place to dance, actually. So it's
Yes,
funny.
yes. I'll
You know,
dance. I won't cook, but I'll dance in the
you'll
kitchen.
dance, yeah. That's the dance floor.
Yes.
Creativity seems like such a significant part of your life, both in music and in speaking. And just like I can hear it kind of just coming out of your mouth, your stories, the
Mm.
way that you use words and draw people in to listen. I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't, I wanted to hear where you were going with the story that you were telling. How do people nurture that creative process? Again, we're talking to the audience. I want to encourage folks to share their stories, to let their voice be heard,
Yes.
because what they say matters and you will help somebody else. There are people that your mess, your message, your mess that turns into your message can bless somebody else to see that there's
Always.
light at the end of the tunnel. So how do folks nurture that? Like, let's hear some wise words on that from you.
Again, you got to be willing on some level. it's not like you have to go out and talk to everybody you know,
No.
but you got to be willing to be known and willing to know someone else. I think that's part of it too. You got to be willing to hear somebody.
Yeah.
Because I think listening is one of the greatest gifts we can give. And
Mhm.
that's something I've been blessed to do, is listen. Because I can talk, but I'm really good at being quiet. And I'm really good at just listening and hearing people, what people are saying. I'm good at hearing what people are not saying, like being with the vibration of it all and just knowing that it's all a blessing. So I think we all have something to share. So if we can share with our best friends, or you might share with somebody you don't know. That happens too. I think that is a reason people will talk to me, because sometimes it's easier to say something to someone that you don't know, or that you're not going to see again, maybe, or that they're not going to throw something up in your face. So there's a level of trust in there, trust and willingness, and then just knowing that it's okay, knowing that it's okay to talk. I think a lot of us have been told to be quiet. I think I think women are told to be quiet or expected to be quiet,
I
and
agree.
have been for years. And we just got trust, willingness, about being bold. If it's not your natural way of being, be willing to step into it and just consider yourself having a level of boldness in that moment. If that's what you feel like it takes, is be bold. Go on, be bold. Just go on, be bold. And then okay, trust, uh what is trust, willingness, be bold, and then be uncon unconcerned. Don't because
Unconstrained.
don't
Yeah.
well, don't worry about don't worry about trying to sound good. People try to do stuff right. I've I've actually kind of given that up, because you really basically ain't not gonna mess stuff up as badly as your mind might think you will.
Yeah.
So I think if we allow ourselves to step out, whether it's a new job venture, a new relationship, a new recipe, if you're willing to try something new, and that willingness comes in again, and willing to not be concerned if you mess up or not. I mean, it could be in the mix, but don't have it overshadow your freedom. Don't let being concerned mess with your freedom.
How I see that is drop from your head to your heart.
Ooh,
Just yeah, when you drop from your head and the thinking there, and you drop into your heart, it's always the right words. It's always the right answer because it's coming from the heart.
yeah. I'm an extraordinary voice coach. And one of the things that I have people do is I can tell when they're thinking. I don't have to be in the same room. Matter of fact, a lot of times when my voice clients are singing, my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
And I had a client years ago, before Zoom and whatever came before that, we weren't even using that to just be on the telephone. She was in New Jersey. I never did meet the woman, come and think of it, but I can hear over the phone, or I can hear I can hear by the vibration. And I'll say to somebody sometime, "Are you thinking?" They'll, yeah. Oh, don't think. You hired me to. I'll think. You sing. You hired me to coach. Yeah, I'll think. Just sing. And when people just sing without thinking about it, I mean, there's things to be concerned with. You're breathing and you're this and you're that. But don't be thinking about doing it right. Don't be thinking about what's Mary gonna think. I'm one of the safest people you could ever sing or speak around. And
Yeah.
I tell them that, and they get that. And it's the difference in the sound, the difference in the delivery, the difference in the vibration of it, when we just allow ourselves to be, as opposed to being in our head. Like I said, drop to your heart, let it fly out. Let it ooze out of you, baby. Let it soar out of you. We soar. We're eagles. We're birds. We're doves. We are toucans. Whatever you want to be. But let it come out of you.
Yeah. I sit in the front pew at church, right in front of the speaker where nobody else can sit because it is so loud, and I can sing at the top of my lungs and nobody can hear me because that speaker covers it up. I said, someday I should record myself. I wonder if I am a good singer. I don't even know. But I cover it up. I cover it up because I sing in front of the speaker. But yeah, I totally can let it go. That's why I sit up
Always.
there. And there's nobody else in the pew usually, unless I drag somebody with me to church.
That's funny. That's
It
so
is.
great. Yeah.
I have friends that, like Bible study groups, and friends are like, come sit with us. I was like, no, because then I would, not sing, or I wouldn't sing full out. I wouldn't like let her rip. I wouldn't. So I said, nope, I sit there by myself. I'll see you before church. I'll see you after church. I'll see you in Bible study, but I'm going to go sit in my front pew. Y'all can come with me. That way you still can't hear me sing because it's so loud up there. Yeah, so I
Maybe one
love
of these,
that analogy.
maybe one of these days you'll call me up and say, Mary, I sat in the middle of the church and sang my butt off. And I'll go,
Maybe
yay.
when I'm in Minnesota, I'm gonna go to church with you and sing with you. Oh, I would be
Mhm.
honored to do that. Yeah. Do you have any advice for young women aspiring to follow in your footsteps?
Footsteps of being who they are.
Singer, songwriter, no, but like, the being in the arts like you were, I came
Okay.
from logic and technology and not so much arts. And I think
Yeah.
oftentimes when people are in the arts and they have that extreme, beautiful creativity, they don't realize that they can also be business people, that they can get paid for their gifts and their talents, even though they're not number crunchers, they're not, not in the business world, but they're in the arts world. So
Yeah.
people who want to embrace their creativity and
Mm,
step into that. Any inspiring words?
yeah. True. That's the same thing started
Same
coming.
thing? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's great. A great question. Trust your heart. Like if you feel like you want to sing, sing. And if you want to start somewhere, if you want to do weddings or you want to sing at coffee shops, or there's always a place to start.
Yeah.
And they can definitely find Mary Harris. Find me online and contact me if you need to. But they should trust what they have and trust who they are. And I tell voice clients all the time, nobody's got the voice that you have. I had one young lady, she could sing like whoever was popular at the time. I think Adele was really popular when she came to me. There were like three vocalists that were very popular. She could sing like any one of them. And I said to her, I said, now, is that your voice? And she didn't know. And people, when they study with me, when they train with me, they get in touch with their voice. I've had a couple of clients get in touch with their voice and they actually cry when they hear their voice for the first time. Because we're socialized to sound like somebody else, especially if you want to make it. You better have a little bit of Mariah Carey in there, a little, whoever's popular at the time. But no, have you in there. You can imitate anybody. Find your voice, and then you can bring that to imitating somebody else. So I think one of the major things I'd say to somebody that wants to start doing anything, acting, singing, whatever, trust yourself, know who you are, trust yourself, and then believe that it's yours to have. Yeah, believe that it's yours to have, and
Yeah. Oh,
allowing is a big part of having things come to me. I allow, and I'll do some things sometimes. I've not had a booking agent or a manager, and I've done some things that probably a manager would say, "What'd you do that for?" Either maybe they wasn't a whole bunch of money or whatever it was, but I've done some extraordinary things and be able to be in some extraordinary places because I said yes.
mm.
So also make note of what you're saying yes to, and watch what you're saying no to. And they're both good answers. You got to do what's right for you, what you feel in your heart was right. But be willing to go out in the country and and you show up, go what, you know, just show up.
Believe in yourself. Yeah. And that's so true. No matter, not just for our creatives out there, but all of the women who are watching this, we believe in you. That's why we're here. That's why we're holding this space, is because we want to pull it out of you. We want to inspire and encourage and tell you we believe in you, that every single one of you is special and that you have been gifted with something that is special and that can serve the world in a glorious way. Just let it free. Sing at the top of your lungs in the middle of the church. Don't be chicken like Lisa and sit in the front pew.
Let it rip. Then I'm gonna say one other thing.
Yeah.
I'm also a certified reflexologist. Are you familiar with reflexology?
I used to have it done all the time when I lived in Nevada. I love it. It
I'm
saved my
certified and
hip.
registered. Yep, for those who might not know, it's a science that deals with the principle that for every part and organ in your body, there's a reflex in your foot. A treatment does three things: it normalizes body functions, relieves tension, and improves your circulation. And I tell you, want to know the best part of getting a treatment from me?
You sing to us.
You get to be with me. And the best part of a treatment is I get to be with you. So it's very circular. And the reason I'm bringing it up is people might tell you, don't do that. People might say, you gotta have one niche. It's good for people to be able to say what you do, but you don't have to limit yourself. I'm gonna always, always, always give somebody a foot treatment. I'm gonna always be a reflexologist. I'm certified and registered. You know, I can always do that. So don't feel like you can only do one thing. I guess that's my point. Be all be the army says be all that you can be. Be what you want to be. And please don't let anybody discourage you. That's it. Encourage yourself. Surround yourself with people that see you, get you, love you, honor you, and will hold you up, lift you up. That's yeah.
That's beautiful.
That's
And I have zero to add to that, other than please join Mary on Tuesdays, Good News Days. You can find her on Facebook, and that's Mary Harris, MariHarris. Mary Harris, her last name or her first name ends in an I, so don't screw that one up. And you will for sure find her. Look for her beautiful smile. And join the Tuesdays Good News Days to connect with her. You can private message her there as well if you're interested in anything that she talked about, whether it's, you know, getting connected into the singing songwriting community, if you want to be coached by Mary, or if you just want to have a foot treatment just for the fun of it and you're in Minnesota. I don't know if, yeah, you might be able to get on her list for that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being my guest today. It was truly an honor. The time just goes so fast when I'm talking with people that I want to extract more information from. But if you want to connect with Mary, like I said, you can connect directly with her. And if you can't find her, always reach out to me. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I hope to see you live on a future episode of Living with Favor. If you could use a little bit of advice regarding finding your voice and expressing your message, getting it out there on social media. That's what I do. I support small business owners, particularly those folks who are in the wellness field, to get their voice on social media so that they can find and serve the people that God put them here to serve. So please reach out to me and let me know how I can help. You can always go to lisamosbey.com. That's MOSBEY.com and book a time with me. I'll spend 30 minutes with you talking about your business because I want to know what you do. Again, thank you. See you next week. Come on back, everybody.